Hello guys. Hey, I just wanted to put some audio to this and kind of describe what's going on. This right here is the intersection of TC Jester and Cypresswood. We have Cypress Creek just beyond. This is where it has overflowed. Now this is actually a couple days after the worst of the flood. The flooding has actually receded about 6 feet at this point. This is on Wednesday, August the 30th, around, I don't know, about noon or so. So we're flying now to the southwest, and we will get into some neighborhoods. The Wimbledon neighborhood, they typically have not had problems with flooding as far as I know, but every house in here has been affected. So just imagine the water levels being 5 to 6 feet higher than what they are now, and every house was affected. Some houses even affected clear up to the second floor. This is a fairly major thoroughfare that we're flying over right now. You can see the houses, the streets are all flooded. This is just an amazing sight to see. Sorry, I was mistaken. We're flying to the southwest right now. Just incredible to see how much water came out of the banks of this creek with this flooding. So give me a second, I'll get turned around here and we're going to fly back the other direction. Gives you a little bit different perspective on it. But every one of these homes, and you can even see cars where people had tried parking them higher, trying to save their property, things like that, and to no avail. Now, the waterway coming up that goes across the picture here, that's actually a bayou. That is not actually the creek itself. It's just a drainage ditch is all it is. And you can also see to the left there are some pretty sizable homes that were affected by this as well. Every one of these homes are pretty nice homes, fairly expensive. We had actually looked at buying a home in that neighborhood and felt prompted not to. Thank goodness we followed that, or else we would have been flooded out as well. So here we're coming up. On the left, just some green area. On the right, they have a lot of trails through there. Fortunately, there's no homes over on the right. On the left, the homes were affected maybe about 3 or 4 blocks up. It wasn't too bad. It rises fairly quickly on the left. On the right, there's a whole bunch of cycling trails. It's actually quite fun to go cycling through there, mountain biking. Now we're passing back over TC Jester, and we're going to the northeast towards I-45 here. We won't get that far though. And you can see retention ponds that are completely overwhelmed. You can see homes. You can see the entirety of Cypresswood is just inundated with water. Even the homes that are on a little bit higher ground were affected quite considerably by this. And then coming up in the distance, this is actually a retirement home. And the water was clear up to that retirement home, just to show how high it was. And they had boats going in there to get all of the retirees out of this facility. This one and the building just beyond. So this was quite a recovery effort to get people out. And there's some news articles, and I will put links to that on there. The gentleman from Florida who lived here in this area and knew some of the people in this area and knew of what was going on here, so he was able to report quite a bit about it. And you can see there were still some people towing boats around, trying to launch and get out and try to help more people. But for the most part, these neighborhoods have been evacuated pretty efficiently. So now we're just going across over to the actual Cypress Creek, which is right here. The actual creek's not terribly big, but it overflowed quite considerably. And then we have a golf course next to it, and a lot of homes on the south bank here were affected dramatically. and some of these are sizable, fancy homes as well. So lots and lots of damage. So we'll swing around here in a second, and we'll come back over here to TC Jester, and you can see that the bridge over the creek is pretty much right at the water's level. Now you can't really see it here, but the water is moving fairly swiftly as well, trying to drain. Water that gets into homes is not clean. It's actually muddy. It's some of it's sewer. A lot of debris in the water. You'll find fire ants and other critters, rodents, different things in the water. So it's not safe to be in the water. Not safe to have it in your home either. So here's TC Jester looking to the northwest there. And we're going to turn around and we're going to take a look at the neighborhood over on the other side of the creek. So many of the homes over on this side of the creek, which are a little bit older homes, 30 plus years, were all affected. You'll see places where cars they tried to park them up higher, and to no avail. They're still covered. Homes. Some of these homes were covered up to the second story. Some of them clear up to the roof line. So some of these homes are going to be completely gutted. Insulation, ceilings, walls, everything. And we'll get some pictures and footage of that as we start working on that. I didn't do much of that photography today, but we'll have plenty of chances to take pictures of that. Now, what's very eerie here is to see these neighborhoods empty. No people. They've all been evacuated. It's just not a safe place to be in the water. So eerie to not see people, even though these are their homes. And you can see that there's plenty of flood water left, even though the waters have receded at least 6 feet, possibly more. I just was not able to get the drone out while it was raining. Unfortunately, it stopped raining about a day, maybe a day and a half ago. So you'll have to pardon the drunken flying. I was battling some gusty winds up there, some of them up to 30 miles an hour, which is not the best idea for a drone, but I figured I'd get the footage anyways. And I had it in sport mode, which means that the controls are ultra sensitive, and so therefore it causes me to fly like a drunkard. But as we pull in here a little closer, you might have seen that the water's flowing at a pretty good pace, and there is just a lot of water. As we look to the northwest here, our home is about 1 mile up that rise. So we're probably about, elevation-wise, probably about 30 feet above the highest water mark. So we actually fared very well in location, and we have very good drainage as well. I don't think the water got much above the curb in our neighborhood. And you see that red SUV on the left side? That actually was a car that was floating. People don't know where it came from, but it came downstream and the water parked it right there. The neighbors said that that actually was completely covered by the time it was deposited right there. So it was quite deep in this area. So anyways, all the homes to the left and to the right, they're already starting the recovery efforts. You can also see the Postal Service is trying to work again today. Very surprising. And I congratulate them for doing that. So, all right, thank you, and we'll have more videos. Bye.